Good morning. Anthony, you want to get started, please?
Good morning, guys.
Hey, Jen, hope you're doing well. I guess just to start, I know Coach Calipari had his radio show last night, and he said it looks like Boogie at this moment is doubtful. I guess is there any update with his status and just how's he kind of looking?
Not any update currently. I think that he's still doubtful. I think we'll have something definitive later on in the week.
And then if he's unable to go, I mean, what are I guess some of the options you guys are looking at? Is it kind of moving DJ into that primary ball handler role, or maybe having John L kind of take on some of those duties? Just how are you guys kind of approaching that?
Um, Committee, obviously, it's natural for DJ to move into that role. He's done it his whole life. He's done it in his career, so it's an easy fix for him to just move into that role. But committee wise, John L will have to take some of that responsibility. And Billy Richmond, who has played that position some in high school, is different, obviously, on this level, but um, he has played the position. So we're going to ask for him to take some of that.
And then just looking at Georgia, just what do you notice about them? What makes them dangerous as you guys look ahead to tomorrow's game?
Very similar in terms of uh, how some of their numbers in terms of offensively kind of similar. Um, uh, but they have a high assist to turnover ratio. And so they don't typically play with a true point guard. Um, the kid that they start at the point obviously played off the ball combo last year as a freshman, and now he's their lead guard. And so their situation is similar in terms of committing. Trevor Lawrence, Trevon Lawrence playing some of that role came one of the guards that they have, and they kind of move those guys around. They bring a pretty good guard off the bench, number one. So um, very similar. I think that uh, they have really good bigs. Their freshman is outstanding. So what makes them dangerous? I think that they have a winning attitude right now. They've had the opportunity to have some big wins in this league already, and so I think that they're playing with a sense of confidence, and so confidence is dangerous.
Connor?
Hey, Coach, thanks for talking to us today. Just wanted to get your thoughts on Santos Hero, their freshman big. I know you mentioned him a little bit. You all had recruited him over at Kentucky, and just what makes him special and what makes him dangerous for y'all tomorrow.
Big time shot blocker. He does a really good job of blocking shots. That's been a strength of his for as long as I've known him. I've known him since he was a freshman in high school. And so uh, he's a shot blocker. He's a physical specimen, a little raw offensively, but he gives energy, right? He is someone you want to go to war with because of his attitude. He's willing to do whatever it takes, and he plays extremely hard. He does a lot of the dirty work, and so you can count on Sumto in the foxhole with you. And I think that because he stars in his role is what makes him good for Georgia.
And then on the flip side of that matchup, TB and Jonas kind of struggled last week or last Saturday, and but Big Z kind of had a big day. What after he struggled for however many games he really struggled. What was it like to see him kind of have that really good performance in conference play, and what do you need to see from him going forward?
Just consistency, great for me. Z and I have a really close relationship, and I was so happy for him. I talked to him later on that night after the game. He and I spoke about it, how proud of him I am, just to have some stick to itiveness and like to you can, with not having it going, not playing that much, you can easily put yourself in the tank and never get out of it. And so, for Z to be prepared and be ready when his number was called is a highlight, right? And so, what we're going to ask from Z at this point, because we've seen this before, we've had him, right? He's ours, and so we've seen him have signs and show signs and have moments and um, have such times where he's able to play, you know, phenomenal. But we need to see him be more consistent. Our team needs Z, and he brings such a different dynamic to the game, right? The shot blocking, the ability to shoot the ball. We need for Z to be Z. So we're going to ask that he show some level of consistency for us from here on out.
Jackson.
Hey, Chin, aside from that first run that Missouri had, I mean, I thought there were a lot of good moments for you guys, especially in the second half. I mean, what stood out on film? Maybe anything that you can take, especially on the offensive end, maybe that you can like, hey, this is what we need to get to more often moving forward.
Well, you're right. The start of the game, their initial punch was in transition. They did a great job of turning um, missed baskets into transition, and I think they scored early, 7 points in transition off of some of our turnovers. And so when we were put in some positions where we took some unbalanced shots, what I mean by unbalanced, meaning that shots where obviously we don't have the right guys in position to maybe get an offensive rebound, the floor is imbalanced. And so we took some of those shots, made it into long rebounds for them that ignited the first pass to their transition game. So they got on us in transition early, but once we settled in and kind of cut off some of the transition baskets and made them play against our set defense, we were able to get stops. We were watching film earlier today that there were some opportunities offensively that we missed that we want to be able to capitalize on if we get put in those positions again. And so we're going to work on that today so that if we're put in that position against Georgia, that we're able to capitalize off those opportunities. But we settled into the game. We started to get good shots. We started to make good shots. We started to attack their zone and get into the teeth of their zone and get floaters and get floaters for Z, Adu. We even got a dump off to Jonas for a dunk from TB. We were able to get to some of our hot reads is what we like to call it. We were able to get to some of our hot reads. And so we were able to score the basketball, but we couldn't sustain that enough. Obviously, we kept cutting it to 10, under 10. We couldn't get over that hump. And so we just need to make a winning play, right? Make a winning play when it's the opportune time to make a winning play to get us over the hump or to seal a game or to win a game. We have to make those plays on offense and defense. And we've been right there so much. We got to make those plays.
How do you balance like over the course of this stretch right now, a lot of guys searching for consistency, like trying to give maybe some guys a longer leash, like play their way into form, and then, hey, like we got to try a bunch of different things and figure out what works for us right now?
Well, coach is working ad nauseum to figure those things out. And as a staff, we're supporting them and we're all collecting our ideas to kind of help in that regard. And so, again, it's game to game in terms of that. And that's the way our team has been so far. We just need to obviously have guys play with supreme confidence, and we need to be able to put them in position to be successful and to play with confidence. And so coach is working very hard at that, and we're supporting him, and we're coming up with some different ideas, and we'll see what happens in this game. The one word I'll give you guys right now for us is we just got to grit one out, right? We got to grit this next one out and then go from there. Like this is a game where we got to grit. We got to grit this one out, and then hopefully we'll catapult off of that grit.
And last one for me, Austin Newell, having a great freshman season. Is there one, like he can do a lot of different things. Is there one thing maybe in particular about his game you guys are keying on? Like if we can cut off this part, the head of the snake here, we've got a great shot at limiting him.
He's great offensively. We got to keep him off the offensive glass a lot. And obviously he's heavy, strong left-handed. He's a heavy left-handed kid. So we got to kind of shade that left hand a little bit. But he's able to play inside out because he is capable from three, capable post player, and then obviously he can deck it from top down. So he's a good offensive player. And so we got to take away his left hand. We got to front and make his post-ups hard. And then when the shot goes up, we got to pick a fight with him and keep him off the glass. I know that that's kind of cliche. I hit you with a lot of basketball terminology. When a player is talented as he is, it's all about effort and it's all about will And so our will has got to be stronger than his will. And we got a pretty good matchup for him in terms of the two guys that's going to play the same position he played for us. We like TB against him, and we like Adu against him. And so I know it's easier said than done. He's a good player, but it's a good challenge for us, and we're going to try to neutralize him.
Tom,
Yeah, hey Chen, looking at their
How you doing, Tom?
hey man, looking at their rebound numbers, pretty strong rebound margin. What is it? A team dynamic? What are they doing on the boards?
It's a lot of the teams in this league. I think it's pretty much a copycat league. I think a lot of these teams are treating every shot like it's a pass to themselves, right? The shot goes up, you got guys who are running like crazy to get in there and track the ball down. And so we've gotten the memo now. We understand that that's what a lot of these teams are doing. The way they play, they keep two bigs close to the basket. So when the shot goes up, they kind of early wedge a little bit to start their offensive rebounding attempt early. So we got to do a good job of rebounding and meeting the collision, right? It's a collision game. We got to make those collisions, and we got to stick on those blockouts, and we got to come up with those basketball. And that's the winning stuff I'm talking about, because we've had opportunities where we get stops, and then when the shot goes up, guys get second chance shots, but we need to clean that up. We got to clean that up, and we got to complete the series. And when we do force them into a tough two or a challenge shot, and the shot goes up, we can't allow for teams to get back 40% of their misses. And these guys are getting like 40% of their misses back. And so that can't happen. We got to cut that down to about 25 to 30 to be realistic. And if we do that, they'll give ourselves a better chance to grit this next game out.
Yeah, Jeff Goodman had a story talking about the program, and some anonymous coach, referenced Cal as archaic. And I'm wondering if you guys have seen that and have any reaction.
No reaction to it. Absolutely, definitely not true. He's one of the most innovative coaches to ever coach. So to say that he's archaic is so you're fishing, in my opinion. But everybody's entitled to their opinion. I'm blessed to work for a Hall of Fame coach, the best coach in the business, and so I don't have any social media, so I don't read any of that stuff. Don't know any of that world. I just know how great Coach Cal is and how much he cares about these players. And I know we're in a little bit of a bad patch right now, but we're going to try our hardest to get out of it. And we got the best man for the job.
Appreciate that, Chen.
Daniel, wrap us up, please.
Yeah, hi, Coach. I want to ask about the lineup change ahead of the Missouri game. Despite kind of the scoreline that happened once y'all played the two big lineups, is that something that's still viable moving forward?
You said something about the lineup change?
Yeah, with the two bigs, with both.
You're going to see that.
And,
You're definitely going to see that a little bit more. So we want to try that lineup. I don't know if coaches committed to starting that lineup, but I know that that's a lineup we want to see more of. And so at some point, we're going to see that lineup, whether we start, whether coach wants to start with it, or as we get to it after the break, or we get to it at some point throughout the course of the game, but we're going to get to that lineup.
All right, Coach. Appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.